Good evening. I am AJ. You know how I got the name AJ? Because Aaliyah had named me that. The singer that's not dead, that wants to pretend like she wasn't smuggling crack cocaine and cocaine for the United States Marine Corps. But anyways, back to what I was saying. Now, once upon a time, there was this myth that if you did methamphetamines, that you would be able to be diagnosed with schizophrenia and paranoia due to the fact that you were able to see and hallucinate just like you able to hallucinate on hallucinogenic drugs. So, mind you, if you don't disclose your drug use, you would never be able to say, like, if you don't disclose your drug use, you wouldn't be able to be diagnosed with anything but a mental health disorder because they're thinking you got a mental health disorder. So that's that. But anyways, back to the story. That's not a story. So back in 2016, I was asked to steal a vehicle so that way that Rena Bell Standing Bear would die in actual life. So I agreed, and that way her death would be solidified. Mind you, though, they said I could pass this on to anyone that I choose. And so far, this vehicle has taken 12 lives. It's taken Cordelia's life. It's taken Shelly's life. It's taken Sharon's life. It's taken Ajane's life. It's taken okay, so I'm at 4. So now I'm gonna stop mentioning names, and I want you guys to guess the other 8 lives that it's taken. Mind you, you have to use their government names, no nicknames. That's why I had liked stars that use their government name, period, and don't have, and make their government name their actual show name, due to the fact that that's how it should always be done. Mind you, I don't like anybody that's been filmed on Marvel, including DC Comics, including the rest of the movie production companies, including anyone that has to say or believes that people have the ability to read someone's mind. No, you don't have the ability to read someone's mind. Because if you could, you would have been able to say, I didn't want the car. Remember, I went into the dealership to go get a gift card. Mind you, I went to go get the gift card so I could go get some soda because I was just thirsty. So I went into the car dealership. They were like, "Oh, you can steal this car. You don't need a loan. You don't need nothing. You don't need to become a celebrity with this. The celebrities don't need to rap about you or make songs. The entertainment industry don't. The federal government doesn't. Neither do the intelligent community." So I was like, cool, it's your way out. This is your ticket out for them to leave you alone permanently and indefinitely. So, mind you, went in, did all the paperwork 3 times on the vehicle. And yeah, that was about it. So anyways, what else was I going to say? I was going to do like this wrap off, but then I was like, I'm too sane. I got told to lie and say I had schizophrenia and paranoia just so a federal investigation would be dropped. So, I said, no, I'm not willing to lie. I don't tell lies. I don't need to be possessed by a soul search spirit or any other people trying to claim that that's their soul doing the controlling when it's not. Because if you were that bad, you would be the president. You would be the dictator. You would be the person in power. You wouldn't be sitting in a state where you're untouchable. You'd want to be touched, period. You wouldn't want to sit in an untouchable state if that was your soul doing the controlling. So anyways, but back to what I was getting at. Death is real. Mind you, I can't bring nobody back to life. Once you die in real life, like, that's it. Once you die in your pretend life, that's it. So that's about it. But anyways, back to the story. Somehow the government thinks that if you do drugs and you witness murder, that by you doing drugs means that the murder didn't occur. Does that make any sense? No, it don't. So that's like if you let's say like you in the suburbs and your house gets broken into. Mind you, Caucasians are the biggest population to use cocaine. So let's say like these people are doing cocaine. So you think that because everybody's on cocaine and they get murdered, does the murder disappear? Just because everybody was on cocaine? Can you prove that the murder happened? Because murder gets proven every day. This is my thing. I don't believe that you want to go that far into what I'm discussing, period. Now, mind you, I'm not going to be placed on top of someone or below someone or next to someone or in between or passage or same similar between someone ever. Because, number one, you couldn't even federally indict me for a vehicle. You couldn't federally indict me for the murders. You couldn't federally indict me for anything. Period. You couldn't even hold me in prison. Period. Couldn't hold me in jail. Period. You know, like the whole reason why I created neither is so that way no one would pick it. Because neither means that I'm gonna give you no choice of being innocent or guilty. That means that you're neither. So I always like, people need to own up to the fact that I'm putting this on YouTube. People want to be like, oh, I look estranged or this or that. No, I don't. You know, I done seen Nancy Pelosi smoke methamphetamines and pop Adderall and, you know, hallucinate just as much as the next motherfucker that you introduce into somebody. You know, I might have to edit that out because I had swore. But the next person that had used drugs. So just saying, you know, they got a lot of people that had used drugs. So my whole thing is it's like, don't tell somebody or put on a job application have you ever used drugs? Get that off the application. Make some changes due to the fact that why do you care if somebody uses drugs or not? It doesn't blind your capability of thinking. It doesn't blind your ability to judge someone. It doesn't do anything. You know, people spend a lot of money on drugs because that is they're filling a void in their life where they just want to be in a third person view always and forever. You don't want to go to a second person view or a first person view. You want to always stay in a third person view, not permanently, because here's the thing. When you start thinking that reality and non-reality are the same thing, chances are you're in a federal investigation then. You know, and what I mean by that is chances are is that the government will try to make you hear things, see things, believe in things, say that you're possessed or there's no saving you or that you're a rape hostage for negotiated over. And it's like, you need to move on past the thinking of what they say and what they'll try to do. Mind you, I'm Oglala Sioux Lakota. So me being Oglala Sioux Lakota means that, number one, I hate the United States of America permanently and indefinitely. Number two, you'll never hear me use the words Takashla. Ever. Why would I use Takashla when I read a book in prison that stated that using Takashla means the United States of America? So you're believing that the United States of America is your God? No, this could never happen for me, ever. You know what I mean? I'm not gonna believe in an invisible force, period. I'm not gonna believe in an invisible force that you could kind of see or kind of feel, or the visible force try to wear you to make you say things or do things or feel one type of way or another. Mind you, when I get mad, I go on a trip. And when I come back, if you still alive, I'm like, clearly you didn't make me mad enough. If you know what I mean. But I had went on a trip one time and we had a funeral the next day. So that person made me very angry. So, you know. But people need to stop playing like the Illuminati's in power. And the reason why I go after the Illuminati so hard is because no one should say something and then be heard on any network. Period. Now, mind you, I've been drug free. I've been on psychotropics. I can still hear. I can still feel these things around me. Due to the fact that what makes you think that I want to still be a part of anything? When I'm out there, I'm doing Illuminati elimination rounds, which means that if you come up and you get eliminated, there's a casket right there for you and a wood box too. So my whole thing is, it's like, you know, you want to try to keep building a federal level just because I'm Native American or American Indian. And mind you, I filled out a U.S. Census report. I'm for a force, Ogallala Sioux only, because that's the way that my mother said that she wanted me to be, in order not to inherit her land. So that's why I had chose that. So now, deeming my mother owns like 1,500 acres on several different reservations. Her name's Tracy Shera Whipple Wildflower, if you guys don't know, a Saint sidekick. And she hates the United States of America, literally, just like the rest of us. So mind you, there will never be a chance that you call upon Takashla around me ever. Does Christianity believe that their God is the United States of America? No, they do not. I can nod my head up and down like this, and no, you cannot use my head communications. Like, this does not mean that I agree with you just because I shake my head up and down or shake it to the side or just keep it steady. Doesn't mean that I agree with you. So, this is my thing. We're gonna believe in, there is no fame to anybody that is an Illuminati star. Period. I don't care who you are. If you believe in the Illuminati, you are no longer a celebrity. You're no longer in a category to be rated as a celebrity using the alphabet, using the numerical system. You will not switch it to a language that's dead. We're not going to a dead language. Period. If your language is extinct, keep it extinct. If it is classified as dead, keep it dead. You cannot bring it back. You will not use it if it is a dead language. Find a language that's living and living only, and that's not classified as a dead language. So, I can't keep nobody in my house because I'm on a government voucher. I'm not inviting people over to live there, period. My house is going to be a house where when you come in, you keep your shoes on. You walk around normal. You sit on the furniture normal. There's not going to be like, oh, this or that. It's just going to be a regular house. You feel like putting your feet on the coffee table? Put your feet on the coffee table. You feel like breaking the dishes? Break the dishes. You feel like speaking? Speak. You feel like don't speaking? Don't speak. You feel like sleeping in my bed next to me? Sleep in my bed next to me. But mind you, do never, never, never touch me while I'm asleep. And that's the golden rule. Literally. So, anyways, I only went into that depth is because I'm finna put this up because I had enough. I had enough of individuals thinking that they could see the Illuminati. Mind you, you had to once have believed in their ways, because when you're Illuminati, you do not have rights. So, like I said, I'll never join them, but will always federally indict them and keep them incarcerated permanently and indefinitely. Mind you, the worst thing that you could do to an Illuminati actual member is to solidify their name and make them so famous and then lock them up. So mind you, while they're out there trying to party and live it up, it's going to come back and bite them. So I'm always like, this is my thinking and my thinking only. Right now, either you're Illuminati or you're dead. That's basically like where it's at for my thinking in this case. That, I done wrote to the government several times. You know what I mean? And mind you, my whole family, my mother has done drugs with all her children. All of my mother's children were born with drugs in their system. So, but then you got to ask yourself, like, why wasn't my mother's children taken away from her if all of her children had drugs in their system? Well, that's something you had to ask the United States of America. So, I'm tired of living in a life where people can't understand about organized crime murdering Illuminati members. And with no switch. And as messy or as neat or as clean or as visible as possible. And when I mean invisible, I'm talking about the actual forces. Like if I walk past you and you don't say nothing, you're basically trying to say I'm invisible to you. So, at the end of the day, I don't have any members in my family that are millionaires. I don't. Not one of my family members are millionaires. So, and I think it is beyond humane to try to make somebody look wealthy that's not wealthy. And we can name several people that try to join the Illuminati that think that they're wealthy and they aren't. So, if I gotta start naming names, look at Joe Biden. Look at Donald Trump. Look at Bill Clinton. Look at his other alias, Robert Clinton. It just goes on and on and on. Mind you, I'm not married. I don't have a fiance. Single. And I'm staying single and celibate. And whenever I choose to sleep with someone, it is none of your damn fucking business what the fuck I do. Now, mind you, I could put this up on there because I could swear. If YouTube wants to flag it, then they're going to flag it. If not, keep it pushing. It's not a rant. It's not a federal testimony. It's the actual truth. You want evidence? Go find the workers that work back there. I bet you won't find none of them that are in the normal civilian life. I bet you find them all on camera. Every single one of them. In Hollywood. So, like I said, I believe in black magic and black magic only. Don't talk to me about witchcraft if you're not using black magic only. You're not going to come into my household preaching about any other type of magic but black magic. You're not going to use any other thing but black magic to tap someone. You will not establish any other thing but black magic, period. You will not keep alerting individuals that don't believe that there's other magic out there. You're not going to do it. Like I said, you have to stay 100% black magic. If you do not, there's no point to keep working with anyone. Like I said, I'm waiting for my mother to die so the United States of America can shrink the Oglala Sioux Reservation. Just waiting. The land falls to John Whipple. And the reason why the land falls to John Whipple is because that is her half brother. My mother has so many half brothers that she'll be manipulated due to the fact that if you offer my mom any type of drug, my mom will be your best friend and go to war for you. And if you betray her, she'll still be your best friend. So, it is what it is. Mind you, my voice doesn't change. My voice stays the same. Mind you, I'm still Oglala Sioux Lakota. And the only reason why I chose the Oglala Sioux Lakota is because that's the tribe I wanted to be in. We're not gonna keep taking it past somebody, because if you're not Oglala Sioux Lakota and you're not like me, don't talk to me or try to say you're above me. Period. Because, mind you, the Oglala Sioux Lakota got sold into slavery. Mind you, the only reason why they're like that is because they were prostitutes that Normandy had enslaved and was raping and slaughtering and doing whatever with until they got caught by the actual Canadian tribes. So, mind you, it's not made up. We could go on and on about how the Oglala Sioux sold off their tribal members to different governments for different Illuminati gifts and powers, and to evade and elude and build and create and for immunity. Mind you, the moose camps want to try to bite off a legacy that they do not own. You want to try to go after a Crow Dog legacy when you know in fact that the moose camps were captured by the Crow Dogs and sold off into sex trafficking, sold off into the Illuminati, sold off to believe that there's a United States of America force that keeps track of them, and if they don't behave, that the United States of America will turn off their lights and cameras and protection, and all the other countries too. So I just look at them and I'm always like, what you believe in is not real. Your myths, your legends, they're not real. So, there'll be no United States household in my house. Like I had said, tomorrow I gotta go downstairs. I gotta videography all the people that lived at DC Accord. So that way when they go to trial, they cannot switch the faces or voices or personnel, that the people that were doing all the embezzlement, all of the non-housing, of individuals that have vultures will go to jail and prison and be locked out of their social work permanently and indefinitely, and will no longer be able to work for a government program or a nonprofit program. I'm doing this so that way I stay sane, because you will not send a false accuser or a false individual, or as I like to say, an individual that sounds like them but looks nothing like them, or that looks like them but isn't them. We're not going to go into other words or other classifications. You know, I was born into a world where it's murder, 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 murder your way out of reaching it to the top, permanently and indefinitely. Due to the fact that why sit on the top ever? That means that you have placed yourself above the United States of America, because Takashi gets beat up and tore up all the time. Like I said, I'm not gonna use the words Takashi, which means the United States of America president. Not gonna use it. That means you believe that all of those presidents are gods? You gotta be fucked up in the head, literally, to think that a motherfucker is a motherfucking god of a country that you could have slaughtered in the 1700s, but you guys chose to want to party and celebrate when you should have advanced your way toward the East Coast and drove the United States out permanently and indefinitely. You had an opportunity to win a war, and you chose to celebrate and not keep them and push them further and further away and out of your territory life, and keep your soul pure and not be a member of the Illuminati. Mind you, my family is extinct. They do not practice or believe in the Illuminati. I'm not going to cover for them. If I find a family member that believes in the Illuminati, then that is my first sacrifice to anyone, regardless of the relationship, because I'm not a member of the Illuminati, and nor will I accept the invitation, nor will I entertain what they have to offer, nor will I entertain anything that the Illuminati thinks that they own, thinks that a member like my mother owns. Because my mother's not a member of the Illuminati either. Where do you get the idea that Tracy Sherrill Whipple, my mother, is a motherfucking Illuminati member? That means that she would have to murder me in order to get her membership. And she can't. So you need to move past your ability to comprehend that. You need to comprehend it so much that you think that it's unfathomable for her to think it. So, I always say, the next person to die in my family is my half-sister, Sarah Lee Hunt. The name hasn't changed. The teeth haven't changed. The fake butt that got infected hasn't changed. The STDs and that caused my sister's buriedness hasn't changed. Sister can't have kids because she had an STD that scarred both of her fallopian tubes. That means that my sister can never bear a child, ever. Sarah Lee Hunt can never, the Puerto Rican Nazi, can never bear a child, due to the fact that my sister slept around all the time. So I always say, well, that's what you get when you don't believe that the United States doesn't have any gods left to protect anyone. Because like I said, there is no learning from a sibling that allows my mother to do drugs in front of her and not say anything. But when my mother leaves, you want to talk all the shit about what the fuck my mother did, why she was doing those drugs. Like I said, I do not tolerate an enabler. An enabler that thinks that it's just fine for somebody to keep going and going and going and going and keeping them going and going and going permanently and indefinitely. Like I said, I'm not a member of the mafia. I'm not a member of the cartel. I'm not a member of the Illuminati. That's why I'm always laughing, because why try to put somebody anywhere? The Illuminati can't sell you off. Show me a real life document that says that the Illuminati has power over you. You won't find not one real document. You won't find it. Period. So, anyways, like I said, I'm posting this on YouTube. I'm about to go get some water. I got plenty of water somewhere. But I'm about to go get some water. Actually, I just found some on the ground. Mind you, I'm the worst coach player ever. Ever. Literally. And here's another thing. No one is going to pop up on a device that speaks or that doesn't speak and try to direct or command me or say I need to pay attention or be at attention. This isn't the military. I'm not in the military. Like I said, the reason to go to the United States Army is to sit in their face and spit in it and tell them, my tribe defeated the United States Army, so what makes you think that I would want to join them or join any other branch of the military in any country, including countries that don't have military groups? So like I said, you're not gonna try to come after my family when it was my decision to be adopted. I'm the one that made that executive decision for me and my sister to be adopted. Not my tribal government and not no other government. Because I told them, I'm not finna sit in a foster care system while a tribe wants to hold their motherfucking silence and not respond to a motherfucking court, thinking that was gonna prolong or keep somebody from being unadopted, loved, cherished, and respected on this motherfucking earth. So, people need to stop talking about, oh, the adoption was illegal, oh, the adoption wasn't this, or oh, the adoption wasn't that, or Debbie Bluebird didn't do this or that. People need to shut their fucking mouths permanently. Now, I have a case in Saline, Michigan, where there was a boy and a girl named Troy and Tina that loved little boys and girls and would rape my stuff. They would rape me at night or during the day or whenever the mother would leave and have the oldest daughter watch us. Mind you, I don't know all their names. So I'm not gonna play a game either to find it out. Like I said, if I had the ability to sue these two people, I would be a millionaire instantly. And I don't want nothing less than millions. I'm not going to play a game to see anything less than millions of dollars of damages due. Period. And here's the thing, because whoever is blocking this lawsuit deserves to have their law degrees permanently suspended and blinded out of the federal system, which means that you permanently marked and cannot work for the federal government. So like I said, I don't want to work for the federal government. I'm not going to sit there and play a game with a lady that has an IEP just like I got an IEP. Not gonna do it. Who doesn't have honors? Not gonna play it. We go on and on. Like I said, Hollywood does not dictate me. A screen does not dictate me. People don't dictate me. I don't care if you are a celebrity or not. You do not dictate me. Period. You're not going to come in my life and say, this is what happens to this. This is what happens to that. Nobody cares about what guilt smells like. We care about what are you going to do once that guilt isn't detected or smelt, and that person's allowed to walk around with their freedoms or try to be in your face or try to play a game with you in the Illuminati to try to overcome you. Like I said, you're not going to try to make a motherfucking rapist be a motherfucking hero. You're not going to make a rapist be a motherfucking supervillain or a superhero or a villain or non-cognito. Not finna do it. Not finna help somebody that raped somebody. Period. That isn't to go to say, oh, well, we're going to use my words and try to use them on me. You're not to use any of what I say against me. Mind you, there's a law in the United States of America's Constitution that says that self-incrimination is illegal. You cannot sit on a stand in a courtroom or be anywhere and self-incriminate yourself outside the courtroom. You know, we go on and on about law. I've been in the court system for 6 years. 6 years of my life I was in federal court. Due to police, state police, federal courts, and other courts gathering information illegally while breaking my rights. That means not Mirandaizing me to get the testimony. That means collecting the evidence, not voluntarily. Trying to broker deals saying, if you offer this evidence, I'm no longer going to face a federal penalty. You'll give me a juvenile adjudication if I just give up the evidence willingly and not have to cost the state money. So don't ever come to me, ever, and say things that have been sealed and expunged off my record. Now, like I said, I'm after Troy and Tina to get them arrested and federally prosecuted so I myself can sue. My sister Jasmine can sue. And then I can sue St. Catholic Social Charities and St. Catholic John's, period. And to do away with the laws in Michigan that a state agency shall have immunity regardless of what crime is committed, due to the fact that state agencies are the #1 sex trafficking agencies in the world. Now, we're not going to get on a whole case about sex trafficking. We're not going to make it political. We're not going to keep going after it. Like, mind you, I was in South Dakota. We had one of the biggest busts of child pornography in history in South Dakota. I had to drink this water. It's so good. Mind you, I said, I was thinking, I was in prison. It came on the radio. So I'm listening to the trial, and I hear that you know, that the government and the prosecutors fucked up gathering the evidence. Meaning, they were in such a rush to try to bust them, they forgot to get a motherfucking search warrant. And where they had found the evidence, I'm not making this up either. When they had found all that child pornography, it wasn't in the search warrant clause, like where they were able to search. That means that all of that pornography that they found was now to be able thrown out of court, was able to be dismissed. This person had videos of themselves raping children, themselves performing sexual acts with high officials in government, and it was all throughout because the search warrant. They went and found the evidence where the search warrant didn't give them permission to search. And that's how the case got dropped. One of the biggest cases, literally, in a Republican state that hasn't seen a Democrat since. And I'm going to have to research that. I'm not going to do it right now. But like I said, I don't have time to keep going in about things. I did a 41-minute video. I'm tired of being told I gotta give up my tribal rights just to have the FBI dropped out of my life. Mind you, am I on a reservation? If I'm not on a reservation, you do not contact the FBI. I'm not gonna willingly tell you how to self-incriminate or to be able to lock me up. Not finna do it. Or for payment. What I will do is contact the appropriate officials to arrest the individuals that are constantly pushing to try to arrest someone. Like I said, what rules have I broken to have a Washington, D.C. police officer approach me or try to arrest me? Or Michigan officer to try to approach me and arrest me? Or South Dakota officer to arrest me? Or tribal police to arrest me? Haven't done not one motherfucking thing wrong. You gotta break the law to be able to be arrested. Stop, frisk, and seizures are illegal. Find a state where it's legal and turn it off for the rest of us. Like I said, it's not my job to come correct, period. It's not my job to keep you informed every day. It's not my job to play with you every day. It's not my job to tell you what I'm doing or who I'm communicating with every day. When I read a text, I don't want to hear it pop back up on the TV or pop back up later or hear it around when I'm sitting outside away from the TV. I don't want to hear it come out of somebody's mouth. I don't play games, period. When I was a child, if I was caught playing games, I'd get my ass whooped. Literally. I don't play games. You know what I mean? So, and my other thing is, I'm not gonna keep going on about what it's like to live in the ghetto. Not gonna keep doing it. Are we in the ghetto right now? No, we're not. The ghetto, I could show you what the ghetto looks like. And I could take you there. And I bet you not one person comes out there because they don't know who I am. So, like I said, you don't contact people for me. You don't contact people that I don't have a relationship with. I will never have a relationship with any of my biological siblings ever. Or adoptive siblings ever. Or parents or guardians ever. You know why? It's because I grew up. When you grow up, you realize two motherfucking things in life. You realize that there's heaven and that there's hell. And that's it. Everything else is bullshit. All the beliefs, bullshit. Like I said, you know why I'm in a shelter? Because I chose to be in a shelter. That's why I'm in a shelter. The government didn't put me in a shelter. The government didn't rescue me. Like I said, when I smile, it's because I'm hiding so much pain that would make you want to commit a homicide. That's how much pain that I'm hiding. And only pain and pain only. You know, I have 2 jobs right now, and I'm thinking about quitting both and filling out a no-income form for my apartment on this Department of Behavioral Health voucher that I have. Due to the fact that I should not be working, being diagnosed with schizophrenia and paranoia. Should not. There needs to be a law that states that across the board in every single country too, that states that if you have schizophrenia or paranoia, that, and I had turned off my TV because I'm not going to keep watching 2 people, 2 males kiss on the TV. Not finna happen. I don't care if it is HBO or not. It's not finna happen. So, like I said, people need to come correct. Literally, you need to grow the fuck up if you want to try to use people that I played the fuck out of. Literally, you need to grow up and not reuse them. Literally, people got one job: get me housed. What's so hard about it? Why do you gotta play a game to get me motherfucking housed? I don't play games when it comes to being housed. Neither does the Department of Behavioral Health. So far. Now, like I said, there'll be nothing to tell me what to do. Broadcast it around. Like I said, there's no Illuminati. You know, and because that there's no Illuminati, there's nothing to fear. Because that's the only order that could have harmed me. No other order could harm me. So, you gotta move on. Like I said, when I was back at home, my grandma said, tell me some things about your Negro grandma. I said, well, how do you know that I got a Negro grandma? Instantly, cover balloon. Why? Because my grandma wanted to laugh about how Mexicans bought their way into the tribe. Literally, sat there and laughed and said, you have Mexican cousins from Mexico that were born there that bought their way into the tribe. I don't have time to go through her teachings because all I said was, bitch, you finna die because you keep drinking. You have cirrhosis of the liver. You have lung cancer. You have kidney failure. You finna die because you think it's funny to watch cousins rape cousins and not get them locked up or persecuted or charged or placed on a sex offender registry. What grandma laughs about that? And the rest of the village laughed too, including the tribe. Like I said, you know, I'm not turning myself in ever. So go fuck yourself permanently and indefinitely because like I said, Michigan, number one, doesn't extradite. They won't. And they haven't. costs too much money to extradite a misdemeanor case. Because then they'd have to extradite all of the motherfucking misdemeanor cases. And there's too many of them. What makes it easier for them to extradite felonies is that they get the more federal extradite cases that they do, the more that the federal government pays and less that the state government has to pay. You know, I was in school, one of the greatest schools around the world, where, you know, we would go to class and we go to economics. Now, mind you, we go to economics and, you know, to go do homework and everything, and we'd be outside playing kickball, talking about nothing. You know? So, like I said, people need to stop. Permanently and indefinitely. The Illuminati doesn't exist because those that believe in the Illuminati never make it to the top. Never. Because you are a fool to believe anything that the Illuminati will try to teach you or try to place or instill in you. You are a fool. So like I said, stop with the whole my family's famous, because they're not. The only reason why the government, you know that my grandparents were executed after they had performed their witch seance? And I'll say it again, witch seance. They were executed after it because the government said that's too much power for one individual to have. Because there's only one medicine man, and then there's helpers, and then there's like medicine women. So like I said, I'm not in here to do Illuminati production. Ever. I'm here to stop all Illuminati productions permanently and indefinitely due to the fact that why try to see something that's dead, that's not connected to you? Mind you, when I had got adopted, the contention upon it was we were not U.S. citizens. We were not spies. We were not moles. I had to tell my tribe what to do. My tribe doesn't tell me what to do. I tell my tribal government what to do. They have no power over me. They do not sponsor me. This motherfucking hotel that I've been in is not ran by them. It's ran by the motherfucking United States of America only. There's no outside motherfucking sponsors trying to sponsor this motherfucking program called Department of Behavioral Health. They're trying to defund the motherfucking program. So that way, people with mental health disorders can be on the motherfucking street. People need to wake the fuck up. Permanently. Now, like I said, I'm not here to become a recording